What's up, guys? Skyless here with Gears of War Lessons, episode number 13, How to Shotgun. This is probably the most requested video I've had since I started doing the series, and I'm glad to finally be able to get to this point. The two prerequisite, I guess we're going to call it a lesson, I can go ahead and use the class structure. So the two prerequisites will be to go back and watch positioning and wall bouncing, which I'll go ahead and link both of those right now. Bam, bam, and I'll throw one down in the description as well. And yeah, so check those out. I had a request to put some gameplay at the beginning of these videos instead of having the Photoshop graphic with the title and all that. So that's all this is right now before we go into the meat of the episode. And once again, there's more to talk about than I can possibly say with my mouth, so I also put in text, little tooltips and stuff, just like in the last episode. So I'll be reading those, and here we go. Rule number 1. You will get bullshit. You're going to get sponges, you're going to get things where it seems like you're hitting them dead on over and over and over, and they are not dying. That is Gears of War. And there's not much else I can say about it. It's going to happen. But have solace in the fact that you are also going to kill tons of people in the back with shotgun. And they aren't going to be moving, you're going to be coming behind them, and...
Is that a quad?
Yeah, it is a quad. So, you're going to be getting that stuff all the time, so just accept it, roll with the punches, and take the easy kills. So I guess the first point I want to talk about is how to handle fighting against a retro Lancer player. I've got a lot of questions about how do you handle retro, how do you handle sawed off in Gears 3. Sawed off, you have to see it. If you don't see the sawed off, then you aren't going to have any luck killing it, because if he's in your face, then he should get the kill if he's competent. So yeah, there's not much you can do about it except for recognizing it. Maybe don't push as aggressively if you don't know what weapon they have. As far as retro, you want to keep your distance so that you're roughly the range you see in these videos. Well, not this video. That was a pretty awful fight, and he backed away for no reason. Let me just wait till the next video. But yeah, you want to keep your range and keep doing little pop shots. That's what we call when you zoom in with the left trigger and then shoot. And so it doesn't show it either. Whatever. You saw it in the first one. But you want to just keep your distance so you just keep doing pop shots, and you just whittle them down, whittle them down, whittle them down, and force them to aim is the big thing, because most retro people can't aim. Against a good retro player, you're probably going to die, and I actually have a ton of trouble against retro, so I'm not saying that it's the foolproof solution or anything like that, but it helps. And wall bouncing is something which, if you saw the very intro clip, can be used defensively to stay alive and wait for your teammates to come help, or you can use it aggressively to take some nice angles on people. And, for example, this one's kind of a defensive wall bounce, but it's also aggressive because, obviously, I'm pushing him. But by going to the outside wall, I'm denying him a one-shot. So, I make it so that I'm going to get the first shot off, and he can hit me for equal damage, but he's not going to kill me. Another thing is positioning, which I mentioned in episode 12, and that's what you're seeing here. So, anytime there's waist-high cover, you want to try to position yourself behind it while you're shotgunning. And that way it cuts off half your body. They can only see you from your waist up. So they have to aim higher, and then when they're aiming higher, they have, I mean, the same amount of chance to hit you, but it makes it harder, you know, it makes your target smaller. So a lot of people will aim low too, so it's a good way to kind of force them to kick their aim up. I'm gonna let you listen for this. As you can hear, he's shooting the Lancer and I ran over there. If you listen real closely, you can get a lot of easy kills with the shotgun. And again, as I was saying, 80% of your kills are going to be shooting people in the back. So that's where you get them from. And that's how people who use shotgun tend to get all their kills. And what people think is that the whole concept of pushing people in the face is how people get shotgun kills. And that's just not true. Because the best way to get shotgun kills is just come up behind people and flank all the time. And against bad players, it works real well. And against good players, it doesn't really work. So the reason the shotgun is so good is because the average player isn't very good. And I'm going to leave that as my final statement regarding the shotgun. Just some other things I want to note. Hipfire versus L trigger is something which I've gotten a lot of questions about. As you can kind of see in the video, I mostly hipfire, and then at range I'll do little pop shots. What isn't shown in the video is that defensively, if I'm waiting for someone to push me, I'll just hold down the left trigger and wait for him to come in. And that's something that works really well in Gears 2, and it carries over into Gears 3. So if you play real defensive, you can just kind of hold down the trigger, and that's all it takes. What was the other thing? Oh, and for 1v1s, just go watch the positioning video. That covers all the 1v1 stuff. So, again, I'll go and link it in the description, and I linked it before, so you really have no excuse to not go watch positioning video. It is an invaluable tool in your Gears of War experience, and also will help immensely with your shotgun. So go check that out. Wall bouncing isn't really necessary. As you can see, you get plenty of kills without wall bouncing, but it's a nice thing to have in your repertoire if you're going to be pulling out your shotgun. And that's going to be it for this week. I'm going to have another video up at the end of the beta, and then we'll see what we're going to do about after that, and we'll let everyone know all that stuff. So watch out for more videos, subscribe. Go ahead and click the subscribe button right now if you haven't. And that's it. See you guys next week.